So today we started solving systems of equations. In this example, we are learning how to solve the system by graphing. So here we have two equations. The first one is y equals 3 halves x minus 3. And we're going to graph that line in this case. And so the slope of that first line is going to be 3 halves, which is the same as negative 3 negative halves. And we want to write it both ways because sometimes we run out of space. So our rise is going to be 3 and our run is going to be 2. Or our rise will be negative 3 and our run will be negative 2. Now our y-intercept, in this case, it's going to be negative 3. So let's go ahead and use what we learned before and use the slope and the y-intercept to graph this equation. So first thing we do is we plot the y-intercept, which is negative 3. Remember, the y-intercept is the y value when x equals 0, and that's why it touches the y-axis. So from that point, we're going to rise positive 3 and we're going to run positive 2. And that gives us this point right there. We're going to do that again. Rise positive 3 and run positive 2, and we're going to do that a couple times. Now when it comes to graphing systems, we want to plot as many points as possible in order for our line to be more accurate. So let's go ahead and connect those lines. And here's the line that represents the equation y equals 3 halves x minus 3. Now let's look at y equals x minus 4. What is the slope? Well, the slope is 1. And so the rise is 1 and the run is positive 1, which is the same thing as a rise of negative 1 and a run of negative 1. So let's figure out the y-intercept. The y-intercept is going to be the constant, which in this case is negative 4. And the y-intercept is a free point, so let's go ahead and plot that point. And from that point, let's rise 1 and run 1. Rise 1 and run 1, and let's do that a couple times. Now I went the opposite direction because we want to make sure that we have a more accurate line. And so let's go ahead and plot the line. And as you can see, these two lines, which are a part of this system, intersect. And so they have one solution. So the solution of this system, these two lines, these two equations, is going to be that purple point right there. And so the solution is going to be the ordered pair that would satisfy these two equations to make them into true statements. So we need to write that ordered pair in the form of xy. And so I'm going to go ahead and count. And our x value is negative 2. Our y value is negative 6. And so that'll represent a solution of the ordered pair negative 2, negative 6. And this ordered pair will satisfy these two equations and make them both into true statements. Let's go ahead and do another example. Here we have two equations. Let's look at the first equation. The first equation, the slope is negative 2. And so the run is positive 1, which is the same thing as a slope of positive 2 and a run of negative 1. So the y-intercept is going to be positive 7. So let's go ahead and plot that free point of positive 7, which is the ordered pair 0, 7, which is up there. Now from that point, the y-intercept, we're going to rise negative 2 and we're going to run positive 1. And I did that a couple times and I went ahead and made the line. Now you can double check because the slope is negative, this line should go downward. And the y-intercept is positive 7. So I do have a y-intercept of positive 7. As long as you got the slope correct, chances are you have the correct line. Now let's go ahead and graph the second equation. The second equation, the slope is 1. So the rise is positive 1 and the run is positive 1. Now before I even do anything, I'm going to make a prediction. This line has a slope that is positive, so this line should go up. And since the y-intercept is positive 1, it should go upward and hit the y-axis at positive 1. So let's get back to the slope. The slope of with a rise of 1 and a run of 1 is the same thing as having a slope with a rise of negative 1 and a run of negative 1. So the y-intercept is positive 1, and so let's go ahead and plot that free point, which is the y-intercept, the ordered pair 0, 1, which is going to be right there. And I went ahead and I plotted my ordered pairs. I rose positive 1 and I rose and I ran negative 1, excuse me, and I rose positive 1, ran negative 1, and I also rose negative 1 and ran negative 1 in order to get points below the y-intercept. As you guys can see, they intersect at one specific point. And that point, which is that purple point, is the order pair 2, 3. And that order pair, the order pair 2, 3, excuse me, is the solution of this system. In other words, if we substitute x for 2 and y for 3, these two equations will come up with true statements. And that's how you solve systems, by graphing. We will learn other ways to solve, and we're going to learn how to check our solution. And so this is just the foundation. We'll be doing more of this week. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, you guys know how to contact me. Thank you very much.